Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, YAHAWAHSHI, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders that I learned this truth from, the men at GMS, and the brethren with the like-minded doctrine. Slacky, I had made a video dealing with this yesterday, but I found this one that it's a good one. It's good also, through the spirit. Um, that I think, I should bring this out. Make a video on this too. This is the video is entitled "Here's how U.S. missile defense could be fooled by an ICBM." So we know that Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to be hit with these nuclear missiles because it's prophesied in the Bible that it shall be destroyed, man. It's going to be laid desolate, the land of Edom, Basra, which we're going to get into that, Yahweh willing. But I'm going to let this video play, and I'm going to bring out some scriptures.
3, 2, 1, ignition.
America's missile defense system, the best and perhaps only line of defense from a North Korean nuclear missile aimed at the U.S. Now a stunning warning from some of America's leading experts.
If North Korea were to fire nuclear-armed ICBMs at the United States, we cannot be assured that our missile defense system would prevent the deaths of millions of Americans.
Kim Jong-un's most powerful test in almost 5 years, an intercontinental ballistic missile. A warning to President Joe Biden and America as North Korea sharpens its nuclear sword. For years, U.S. leaders...
So you heard what he said. I'm going to wind it back.
Continental ballistic missile.
Our missile defense system would prevent the deaths of millions of Americans.
Kim Jong-un's most powerful test in almost 5 years, an intercontinental ballistic missile. A warning to President Joe Biden and America as North Korea sharpens its nuclear sword. For years.
So he said, as North Korea sharpens its nuclear sword. So that's what the Bible speaks in parables and similitudes, So that sword is what we're gonna get it out of Isaiah. Would you see the sword there? Those ICBM missiles. We're going to get this out of the book of Isaiah. It says, as North Korea sharpens its nuclear sword, which sword is an instrument of destruction, is a weapon used for destruction, which those ICBM missiles are a weapon of destruction, So I'm going to get this out of the book of Isaiah. Chapter 34. Isaiah 34. And we begin at verse 4. Salakia, verse 5. And it says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of YAHAWAH Bahashem YAHAWAHSHI is filled with the blood. It is made fat with fatness, and is with the blood of the lambs and goats, and the fats of the kidneys of rams. And the Lord YAHAWAH Bahashem YAHAWAHSHI, after a sacrifice in Basra and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Idumea is a Greek way of saying Edom. Basra was the capital of Edom. Was the capital of Edom today is America, Babylon the Great, aka America. So the Most High got a sword, just like he was saying, as North Korea sharpened their sword, right? A weapon of destruction, which is those ICBM missiles. And that's what it's talking about here, because that sword, those ICBM missiles, is going to wipe out Babylon the Great, aka America, Basra, which is Esau, Edom, man. Which is that was beautiful. And I'm gonna just let the video play, because that sword, these ICBM missiles, is gonna be the end of Esau, man. Just like it says in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter and the 9th verse, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So I'm gonna play the rest of this video.
U.S. leaders have reassured the public.
Missile defense begins here.
And America's allies
should be very confident.
missile defense systems can keep them safe.
Easily shoot them out of the sky.
Senior defense officials project confidence. The U.S. could also shoot down a North Korean ICBM.
The defense of the homeland.
These experts say the odds of success are very low.
It's been described as hitting a bullet with a bullet, trying to hit a forehead.
For the first study of its kind in 10 years, commissioned by the American Physical Society, their conclusion, despite more than 6 decades of missile defense efforts and $350 billion U.S. taxpayer dollars, no missile defense system has been shown to be effective against realistic ICBM threats. Why is it so hard to shoot?
So what he said, there's no system, U.S. Defense system, realistically can shoot down an ICBM missile. So what is that, Job? The book of Job, Job chapter 2, start at verse 4, and it says what? They were saying they have no realistic defense systems to shoot down the ICBM missiles. Which we're gonna start at verse 4. It says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen shall they run. This is describing these missiles, man, the ICBM nuclear missiles, man. The appearance is like the appearance of horses, because you see, ever seen horses run? They run, in a pattern, one after another, in a group. That's how these missiles gonna be shot. Like horses, and the appearance of horses, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, and the noise of a flame of a fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. So what they're talking about, that mushroom cloud, man. Much pain. People going to be devoured. And after that, much blackness is going to be, that mushroom cloud, the residue of the mushroom cloud. Verse 7, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. So that's what it's talking about there. They will not be shot down. Their defense system, they have no defense system for these nuclear bombs. And they talking about like this America's only concerned with North Korea, man. They got a lot on their plate, man. Babylon the Great, aka America, that great whore, she's fucking with everybody, man. And she got a lot on her plate. She's sanctioning everybody at the same time. Russia, China, India, North Korea. She's sanctioning everybody, man. And also Russia is also talking about nuclear war too. Don't forget Iran, Afghanistan, all these different countries, man. And also her allies is going to shoot missiles on this place too. Verse 8, neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded, man. So they have no defense, man. I'm going to read this out of the New Living Translation. Verse 8, they neither joist each other, each move in exactly the right position. They break through defenses without missing a step, man. So they ain't gonna have no defense. Their nuclear defensive system is not gonna work, man, because it's prophesied. I just read it. That's these nuclear missiles, man. That's what they describing here. they will not break their ranks, man. They have no defense for these nuclear missiles. So I'm gonna let them continue with this video.
Realistic ICBM threats. Why is it so hard to shoot down an ICBM?
The warhead undoubtedly be accompanied by decoys and by things to fool the defense or overwhelm the defense.
A fundamental problem.
We do not see in the next 15 years that an effective defense can be mounted against ICBMs.
The current system has only been tested 19 times since 1999.
In those tests, they've been essentially scripted for success. But even so, the tests have only succeeded around half the time.
But what about all those successful intercepts in the Middle East? What about the Iron Dome?
ICBMs are a qualitatively different threat than many of the missiles that we have read about in the news, traveling significantly higher and having potential penetration aids and countermeasures.
CNN reached out to the U.S. Missile Defense Agency. When asked about the report's findings, a spokesman cited this defense report from January. It says the missile defense system has demonstrated a measured capability to defend the United States, deployed forces, and allies from a rogue nation's missile attack, and that its most advanced radar will be able to separate the warhead from a cloud of decoys. U.S. think tank CSIS says these images show an undeclared North Korean missile base just miles from the Chinese border, a potential launch site for ICBMs.
We need to understand there is no military solution.
Former U.S. Ambassador and Special Envoy to North Korea, Joseph Yoon, believes the only option is for President Biden to take a page from the playbook of former President Trump and reach out directly to Kim.
So what they have there? They got the president shaking hands with the president, the president of North Korea, right? Jing, I can't remember his name. Xing Jong Hung or something like that. I know I'm not saying it right, but with Trump here, you know, what's that? Joel also what I brought that out in the last one. Joel 3:10. Let the weak say I'm strong, man. So these other nations, man, China, Russia. I meant China, Russia too, but because they're Edomites, but nonetheless, I'm talking about the other heathen nations, man. China, North Korea, Japan, Iran, and all these other heathen nations, man. They have nuclear capability now, man. So this great whore, Babylon, she gotta think things. She gotta think things through now, man. And like I was saying, her only concern is not just with North Korea, man. It's with all these other nations, man. Because that's what's going to happen. All these nations, even the allies of Babylon the Great, is going to shoot missiles on this place, man. Which I want to get this also, because they're going to shoot missiles on this place, and this war is going to be fought with nuclear missiles, man. You already see it because you see all these drone strikes, all these bombings and things like that. That's basically leading into this third woe, which is going to be fought. This is how it's going to be fought. Isaiah 9:5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." So that's how this third woe, which we already in the midst of, is going to be fought, man. And you see that with a lot of times, this president here, these presidents, they've been sending drone strikes, man. So that's just leading into what this war is going to be fought with, man. Fuel of burning fire, man. So I'm gonna let this video play.
Kim Jong-un.
The longer this situation continues, more serious will the provocations be.
He says diplomacy may be the only way to keep the missiles from flying, to keep America safe. Will Ripley, CNN, Taipei.
So I get, well, America is not going to be safe, man. Babylon the Great, Basra, it's not going to be safe, man. You know, it's a wrap for Basra, man. You know, it's prophesied that Basra, Babylon the Great, will be destroyed, man. A desolate wilderness. So I think I'm gonna end it off here. Like I ended off in the last video with this verse here, which is how this place is going to be thrown, going to be destroyed. Second Ezra 16 and 13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot unto the ends of the world, man. That's talking about what? Similitudes, the arrows, or those nuclear missiles, man. Which you can find out as Google what the military calls a missing or defunction nuclear bomb. They call it a broken arrow. So these missiles, man, you know, they're gonna be shot, man, all throughout the whole earth. That's why all these other nations got them. You know, Russia is already talking about Russia. I just seen a video today. Russia is talking about the use of a nuclear war. If Russia goes down, they're gonna somehow they're gonna be like vigilante groups was gonna get their hands on the get their hands on the capability of shooting these missiles, man. They said if it goes down, if Russia be destroyed, man. So that's how this is going to be. That's how this Babylon the Great is going to be it's going to be wiped out, man, by these ICBM nuclear missiles as is prophesied in the Bible. And how you know, how ironic that this verse here is shaped look like a warhead. If you see the outline of this verse here, it looks like a warhead. You know, I just found that interesting. You know, and you know, I'm gonna close out on that. You know, I want to say call Halayim La YAHAWAHSHI, YAHAWAHSHI Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. Shalom. To the next time, Yahawah, Ratazah, which means Lord willing, and Why Ababa Ball, DTA soon.